Good morning, traders. Seems like we may have a hot Monday potentially. As the SPY and the Dow and all that gapped up last night. Although we're getting a little pullback right now on the SPY. Good morning, One Life. So I guess the stimulus is getting people hyped somewhat. Let's look at the market watch. It's a mixed market still. It's actually not. We're still kind of in a sideways dipping market. But there is a lot of PR this morning. There is a lot of PR. I was going through making my watch list, and a lot of this PR is pretty good. So I'm gonna just chill here for a few minutes and let the market work itself out here the first 15 minutes. I'm not gonna jump in on anything because there's so much PR. And we do have the SPY possibly pulling back. This is a little reverse U shape there, but it may not. That may just be a little sell off there. But I'm going to give it some time here. I'm going to give it a few minutes. Not going to jump in anything right away. Let's just sit back and observe, because it is the first day of the new month as well, which usually is a hot day, but we'll see. I'm expecting it to be a hot day, but SOS just popped up. Let's see, it hasn't broke that pre-market high yet. It's got to break 650. So possible play there. Oh, and it's got resistance at 660. A lot of resistance ahead of it right here. If it can break over at 650, 660, it could get going, but let's give that a little time. It's just coming up right now. Actually, let's see. See if it tests here. Ooh, look at all that selling. There is a wall of sellers at 650. Oh, and oh, yeah, there you go. They just got taken out. That was a lot of selling that just got taken out. Good morning, Jamie. As you can see, it's still kind of getting held up. Pre-market highs at 655. Got that resistance at 660. Yeah, you can see this getting slammed down at the moment. So yeah, that's what I was afraid of. That's why I did not want to jump in that, because a lot of resistance ahead. Let's see, we got a bunch of stocks that ripped in pre-market that are all dropping down. And we got a couple of possible dead cat bounces. This may be a dead cat bounce. It's got to break that $6 area. I may take a little shot on this dead cat if it starts breaking 6. I do believe that's an ugly pattern. Looks like it's gonna curl, but I do believe something may be off with Thinkorswim right at the moment. Let me look around and make sure. But if you don't know what a dead cat bounce is, basically a company comes out with some bad news and then they get a big sell-off. Like this thing's been trading over $10 for a while. And then with that bad news, it sold off all the way down to $4.85. So you can get a bounce off of this bad PR. It's such a weird looking pattern here. I'm gonna go here. Just 30 shares just to fill it out. I'm gonna just fill things out here and see if this dead cat starts moving or not. But I don't particularly like this curl. It's a really weird curl there. I did break over 6. So if it can start holding 6, then I think we could see some buyers come in and push this up. And it's got room all the way to 7. Pulling back a little bit now. Yeah, it's kind of curling over. Yeah, so a little drop. Now that is the risk of a dead cat bounce, is if buyers don't try to buy it up, then it could sell off. Let's see, Amtx. What was the PR on this? Oh yeah, they had some loss widens, some revenue fall, stuff like that. So people who like this company, who think that still has a good future, could be buying this up at this discount price. But we'll see. It's got interesting volume. You definitely want volume in a dead cat. This is definitely looking like the bent fishing rod though. And also with these dead cats, usually the shorters are out of it after this. I mean, if they shorted it up at 13 and went all the way down to 485, they should have locked out profits by now. So there shouldn't be very much shorting in this. This is an ugly little pattern. Oh boy, I didn't even realize. Yeah, I might have made a mistake there. I didn't even realize this was down at 533 and ran all the way up to 6. That's a 70-cent rip. So I may have made a mistake on that entry, but we'll see. So here's some support right in this 585 area. It's held up twice. See if it can continue to hold up. Yeah, this is an ugly curl over. This needs to start coming back up to break this ugly curl over. Now see if we start, if this holds up and we start getting a curl back up, then we should be good to go. So this candle here, we really want to see at least test 6. We don't want it dropping down. If this candle starts dropping down, that's going to continue this bent fishing rod reverse U-shape pattern. There's a lot of support. Ooh, there was a lot of support at 590, but that just got taken out. So this may get sketchy. Yes. Yep. Starting to get a little sketchy. That's why I only went 30 shares, just because that pattern was a little bit ugly. And may keep dropping here. I'm not gonna hold it too long. What's the SPY doing? SPY's still up. See if it can push back above this 580. More than likely, this is just some profit taken from this move here. Like I said, there really shouldn't be shorters in here, and there really shouldn't be too many other people selling it because it's already sold off so much. And you can see the buyers did push it back up. There should be more buying than selling on this dead cat, so that's why I'm not too concerned even with this pattern, because the selling pressure shouldn't be that big a deal. But it could be. You never know. And this candle did close above that 586 or that 585, 586 support line there. SOS made a new high. Very nice. So I'm gonna throw a little stop loss in and then take a little look around. Yeah, it looks like this may. It is possible, and I'll talk about that more towards the end of the stream. My thoughts on everything going on with the stock market, but it's not just the stock market that's possibly bearish. There's a lot of different things at the moment that are interesting, but we'll talk about that later in the stream. Just remind me in case I forget. If I don't, I'm going to say it. E-core breaking this downtrend. We're actually trying to break the downtrend. It's at it right now. Let's check out SOS. Oh yeah, SOS does a nice rip. Nice pop over that pre-market high. Did break all that resistance. Took it a second try, but it is climbing. See, Amtx still trying to hold that support. VACQ. If I can break 1355, that'll be a possible U-shape there. That looks like that's going to sell off. I'm going to take it off the watch list. And it looks like it's selling off as well. This was another possible dead cat. So I'm going to hold on. I'm going to keep that on the watch list for now. Socket selling off a little bit. See, all these had PR. That's what I was saying. Okay. So basically, SOS is the one running right now. I mean, if you're gonna trade pre-market, yeah. If you're not gonna trade pre-market, I mean, basically, you wanna see where it ran, and the useful information you're gonna get is support and resistance. So you know for sure the pre-market high is always going to be a resistance, right? Because that's the pre-market high is pretty much like the high of the day during market open. That area is going to be resistance because people are going to sell at a new high. They're going to lock in profits, right? So you can see that support and resistance there. But then you can also see right here some resistance. This old support, and it was resistance here. Now it's support here. And it cracked below that, so now that's resistance. So you know that's resistance there. And then you got a couple other areas where you can see some resistance. So it can help, set up your support and resistance. That's the useful information. And also the price action. What's the price action currently doing? Do we have an uptrend? Look at that uptrend. It's not really much of an uptrend. It's kind of ugly. But what do we have from pre-market? We have a downtrend. So at price action, until it breaks this downtrend, this stock is bearish. So that's the information we can get from it. Just a couple of little bits of information to help us out. Boy, this is making such a wonky pattern. It's trying to hold up that 585 still, but getting tested here. But you see, there's nice little bits of buying coming in, and the only real selling was this right through here. This profit taken from this initial run. So if the selling slows down, which it looks like it's starting to possibly. Nice, Ron. Now, you see the 9 EMA is right there on SOS at that 725, and that is right where it got rejected at. And you can draw a line too on the daily there. You can see that was resistance twice on those candles. It's held up as support on these two candles. So now this is going to be resistance again, and the 9 EMA is there too. So there's a lot of resistance at that 725, and we already broke through that 650 and 660. So you got to start asking yourself, how much more can this push up? Let's see, Amtx going to doji maybe? Might get a little doji here. Yeah, 10 seconds on this candle to close. No, it's pushing up, so no, it ain't going to doji. So actually, if this candle closes over 595, then we actually got a little curl up starting. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a whole minute on this candle left. My brain didn't work for a second. Good morning, Michelle. Well, yeah, that's what I'm trying. That's what I'm here for, guys. I'm here to try to help you guys out with my knowledge, make it easier to learn. Because if you just go into the internet and you type day trading, you're going to get a whole lot of horse shit. So, but even if I'm not winning, if you guys just take the information that I'm putting out, and come up with your own trading strategy and plan with that information, because price action, support and resistance, all that stuff is it doesn't matter what your strategy is, that stuff is going to be, and volume, those are going to be your main things that you're going to be trading. So like Friday, I took a nice hit Friday. So so I'm glad that you're trading on your own and not just jumping in when I jump in, because I don't want people to do that. I don't want you to buy a stock because I'm buying it. I want you to know why you're buying a stock, because I can be wrong when it comes to buying a stock. my, some days my discipline is lacking, and that's what happened Friday. My discipline just ate shit basically. Hey, Doc Trader. Yeah, this is Antx. Trying to see if it's gonna get some more of this dead cat bounce. Cause if it can get over 6 and hold over 6, it's got room all the way up to what is this right here? To 837, at least to 720 something right there. There's good possibility. That's why I like these dead cat bounces. There's always a lot of air from the sell-off. But I didn't look way back here and see what we got. This is back in COVID. I don't know if I'd really count that. So, yeah. So, 7. It's got room to 7. That's what I'm looking for. That's my price target, is it to get a bounce back up to that 7 area. But earnings season is always well, I'm not going to say always, but usually a good time for dead cat bounces, because you'll have a company come out with bad earnings and everybody freak out and dump it like they did with this. Starting to get a little weak here. Whoa, big drop. Cracking that support, but last time it did that, buyers pushed it back up, so we'll see if they push it back up again. And they are starting to try to push it up. Let's see. SOS is starting to try to make a U-shape up to 7. Like I said, that 725 area is going to be pretty tough. But you do have that possible move. And you see there's the downtrend right now currently, where it's got to break 7 as well. So it just got to break 7, and then it could start moving. If it breaks 7, it's got some. If it can break that 725 area, it does have room to run. Oh, did I get stopped out yet on the Amtx? Oh, no, I didn't get stopped out yet. Close. Now, if this candle drops below this candle, then this is done. So you want higher lows, and that would be a lower low. And that's why I got my stop loss kind of under that candle, but so it did hold up. It's still a higher low, barely. Possible trend line forming there. Yeah, this is pushing back up to 585. Let's see if it gets back over right here. I'll go ahead and take that off, because we know that 585 area is going to be resistance. Yeah, still a lot of buying in here. Trying to hold it up, but it needs to get back above that 585, because if it starts cracking down anymore, like I said, if it drops below that candle wick, well, still some selling pressure on this, even though it's dropped off this hard. That's an ugly candle right there. We do not want that to close like that. That's an inverted hammer. So it just looks like exactly what it sounds like, an upside down hammer. If it closes like that, then an inverted hammer usually leads to a sell-off. So we'll probably see the trend line crack. But basically, you don't even have to know it's an inverted hammer. You can just see that big ugly wick and know that the selling pressure is pushing it down. And I'm getting close to getting stopped out here. If that candle doesn't come back up, then that's gonna drop. I actually just closed like that. So it's real close to cracking here. I'm gonna start looking for another possible play. See, SOS may be the play. I might have to. So it's starting to come up. It's possible U shape. We also have a trend line. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go on SOS here, maybe. I just got stopped out on whatever that play was. Oh, see, I'm glad I didn't go yet, because it is looking a little sketchy at the moment. It may sell off. I'm gonna give that a minute or two before I do anything with that. See, ALSN or ASLN, whatever it is, selling off. ECOR barely breaking that. It's a little $10 loss there on ATNX. Just curling back over. It still could bounce, so give it some time. That looks like crap. And that doesn't look very good either. And that looks bad as well. PHIO doesn't have a lot of volume. Socket in this downtrend at the moment. Let's see, how's SOS doing? Yeah, SOS looks like it may start cracking as well. The SPY's still climbing up though. Let's look around and see if there's any other possible plays that I'm missing. It's interesting. I'm actually going to put STSA on the watch list. Doesn't have a lot of volume at the moment. It does have this uptrend and some decent PR. ZKIN popping up. Yeah, it's made two triangles. That's a possible play, but I feel like I missed it. Oh, Amtx with a nice rip there. and they've got good PR as well. That's what I was saying this morning. There's so much good PR. That was a reverse stock split on GHSI. I'm gonna put it up here just to keep an eye on it. Sometimes reverse stock splits can get crazy. You got some mid caps that are moving around. Yeah, a lot of mid caps. So we may be going into a mid cap market where all the volume is going to be. The penny stock market may lose all the volume. See, if this thing can break, this is a very low float. If it can break over the 725 to about 750 area, if it can break those areas, it's got a lot of, I mean, there is no resistance all the way up to 1052. So it's open skies if it can break this area right through here, basically through 750. That's why I'm keeping an eye on it. I said not a lot of volume yet. See SOS cracking that trend line. That's done for now. Nice, Tim. You got a win off of E-Core. Very nice. Yeah, breaking that downtrend, still climbing. Amtx with a little flag here. Be buying at the high of the year though. If I buy into this flag. But that is pretty decent PR. If it breaks 15, it could really get going. I was starting to. I'm gonna go. Cause it just pushed up for a new high day. I get filled at 15.14. I don't like that it. No, this is a decent flag, but like I said, I'm a little concerned because it's the high of the year. And it did rip, you know, like $4 right through here. I may have jumped the gun on this one. But it looked like for a second it was going to really start taking off there over 15, and instead it just hit a new high at 15.25 and getting smacked down a little bit. But we're still in this flag, so I'm not going to run away yet. Buyers are pushing this candle up, trying to. Coming down to the bottom of the flag. You need to see that hold. If that flag cracks down, then this is going to drop like crazy. I'm going to get ready to sell. Ooh, getting real close to being sketchy. Buyers don't push this back up immediately, this flag is going to crack. This is getting real close to cracking. Real close to cracking. Alright, there it goes. Starting to come back up a little bit. Needs to get off of that 1460 area. And it's kind of back down at it again. Starting to crack here. Got 20 seconds on this candle, depending on how this candle closes. Closing pretty ugly. About to hop out of this. It's not looking good at the moment. Because you can see it's starting to curl over. Even if I redraw the flag, it's still not a pretty flag anymore. Whoa. Started cracking quick there. Yeah, failed flag. That's what I was concerned about when I jumped in and I saw that high, hitting that high year. Now, most likely, it's probably gonna keep dumping. But for some reason, yeah, you can see this is a ugly little first U shape. Trend line's kind of, let's see. Yeah, trend line's kind of at 1330. See, it did just push back up to 1450. I'm just gonna. $13.95. That area held up pretty. This held up as some support on both of these candles. So we may actually be making a flag that looks like this. But we do have a little bit of support there because twice it's held up. That 1388 area. Chop suey out there. Yeah, it is a choppy market, and that's what I was saying at the beginning. Whoops. Although majority of the market's turned green so far today. A SPY up to 388. But yeah, it is choppy. Amtx curling back up to this $6 area, so possible play there. On this dead cat, we actually have a nice little U shape. I should have been patient and waited this out because that dead cat may get going. SOS with a possible U shape as well. What the hell was I just in? Is it Amtx? Oh yeah, it was Amtx. I forgot what stock I was in for a minute. So possible play on SOS and ANTX. ANTX is pretty interesting, but I don't think I have any funds left. No, I don't have much funds left. I could get a couple of shares of ANTX, but not a lot. I'm gonna grab 5 shares. That's all I can afford. I'm gonna get 5 shares of ANTX because I feel pretty decent about it. I can re-break that 6 area. And AMTX is still alive. I think this is a longer triangle than I thought it was. This was a little flag, but it looks like it's becoming a lot bigger of a flag. Let me look at the Yeah, so on the overall picture of like the 15-minute, you can see it is making a flag there. The 5 minutes probably where it's pretty clear. Yeah, so there's a flag on the 5 minute. Let me readjust the top of the flag there. But it could crack down. Very easily could crack down. Needs to start pushing back up to 15. It got up to 1470. I'll take my stop loss out for half a second. I don't want to get shook out. See if it pulls back up right here. This may be cracking out of this triangle though. Give it half a second to come back up. Now this looks like it's going to be a failed breakout. Big buy-in just came in at 1350. Oh, and they just all got taken out. Yeah, I'm about to have to get out of this. I'm holding this too long. Oops, hold on. I need to switch back to 10 shares. I was about to only sell half of it. I'm just trying to see if there's a possible. No, see, the trend line would be there too if we were going off the trend line. So let's even crack that. Or it's testing it. Yeah, right there's the trend line. I really should get out. Don't do what I'm doing. This is one of those times where you learn. I should have been out of this a while ago. When this initial flag cracked, that would have been the most disciplined place to get out. Right now I'm being a bag holder and being a dumbass, so don't do this. Don't ever be a bag holder like this. Yeah, it's starting to crack. Because bag holding like this will get you in trouble way more times than it won't. getting ready to cut out. I'm getting real close to cutting out of this. I'm just holding on just for insanity purposes. SOS trying again. I'm gonna give this a second. Yeah, SOS tested that $7 area, got rejected. Possibly trying to come back up. Do have a trend line, very nice trend line there on the SOS. And starting to crack that. Let's see how's Amtx doing. ATNX. So Amtx still having some trouble, but you can see this is a big old fat triangle on Amtx. And Amtx is trying to get back above the trend line at the moment. If it gets if it doesn't get back above the trend line and hold, it's going to sell off absolutely. It's going to drop and crash. If it gets back above right here, then it may start to climb again. I'm not averaging down. So we're kind of getting rejected right here at this trend line. I'll give that a few minutes. Yeah, so that's starting to crack that trend line as well. Market's turning pretty green, but it is a choppy market. So this big curl over is kind of getting broken today, but it's still early. If the SPY starts dropping at all, then I would say we're going to have a pullback. No, he actually didn't, Daniel B. If you'd have watched the video, you would know that he was actually saying not to average down. So why don't you go actually watch a video instead of running around here throwing your opinions and shit around and not knowing what you're talking about, buddy? How about that one? Try to come in here with your smart assness. But nice to see you. It's been a little, you've been quiet, so I'm glad to see you're back trash talking, man. You must be feeling better. Shots fired. I've been waiting for him to come back and talk trash to me. I love it. I love it. Daniel B's my favorite. He's my favorite trash talker. I think Amtx is looking. It's just bad all around. Look, see, it's starting to kind of curl over. We did get a little doji star, so I'm trying to see. I'm trying to give us half a second, see if it's going to push back up right here. But these times when it's these sketchy markets like this, a lot of times it's good to set out. Especially if you're a new trader. Or play like a easy ETF or something like that. But from what it looks like today, it looks like a lot of the mid caps are the ones that are getting the moves. There's not very many penny stocks. Well, let's see, SOS, whoops, ANTX starting to pop out of this triangle. Coming back up to 6, and then I thought I saw SOS was coming back up as well. Yeah, so SOS possibly could break out over 7 here as well. Yeah, Ron, his Cheerios are always getting peed in. Yeah, it's grape nuts. Ooh, wow. You really got me there. Called me a proven idiot when I literally say all the time I'm a dumbass and an idiot. Super insulting. You gotta do better than that, Daniel B. You can't just say what I say about myself. All right, that's not gonna get my feathers riled up. I've told you before, I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly. I think I had Rocket on my watch list earlier this morning. I looked at it. I can't remember. Oh, you're talking about... Oh, wrong one. Oh yeah, Rocket making a nice bounce. But that's what this just furthers my point of what I was saying. It looks like mid caps are gonna be hot this week, so that's what we're gonna have to keep up. We're going to look at those a lot more closer. ATNX coming up that $6 area. It's probably be a slow mover if it does break out probably a slow mover for a little bit. See, there's a lot of selling at 6, but they're getting taken out. So Amtx might take a little bit. Yeah, Amtx really struggling to get back above this trend line unless the trend line is more like this, but well, maybe. We're also still in this downtrend. See, where's the SOS? Because that was getting close to breaking. So SOS popped up again there. Still not breaking out yet, but you do have a nice trend line and it's testing those support areas. If it breaks over 715, I'd say it'll probably test that high today, possibly make a new high. So there may be a possible play there. That 715 is what needs to break. Damn, looks like ATNX got rejected at 6. Yeah, so getting rejected again. We're getting a lot of rejections on these penny stocks. AMTX is looking bad. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of this, I believe, before I take any more of a loss of it on it. Because that trend line is cracked as well. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, drawing tool. I was about to get out until a little bit of buyers started pushing back in here. Let's see if this pushes back up on the trend line. Okay, so SOS probably is going to break out. It's looking pretty good, but it may not. But it does look like it might try. If buying volume keeps increasing here, then you're gonna see a breakout. Yeah, I think, yeah, here you go. Just hit that 715. If it tests 715 one or two more times, that's gonna be the breakout. Buying volume slowly increasing. Let's see here. There it goes. Ooh, a lot of selling at 718 for some reason. Alright, I did not foresee selling at 718, so that may be an issue. But that's kind of, I guess that's the downtrend while they're sitting there at 718. I thought 715 was going to be the major resistance line, but for some reason it's 718. Starting to break down a little bit. See, look at all these sellers sitting there at 718. But I think right now, because the market is so sketchy, you got more people shorting than going long. And that may change depending on how the market closes today. But everything just feels kind of heavy, like there's more shorters in it. And look at this. Amtx trying to push back up over 14. Still hasn't died off yet. This thing... And actually, it's close to breaking the downtrend. You see, it's getting smashed at the downtrend right now, but that thing might come up. See, let's watch SOS though. SOS is close to breaking. If it keeps getting rejected though, it's going to come back down. A teacup, cup and handle pattern. Is that what you're talking about? Are you talking about on SOS? Cause yeah, I mean you could call it a cup and handle pattern. Because if you take my lines out, which is just trend lines, and see there's your cup and there's your handle. But just the overall price action on SOS is pushing up. And I think buyers have got control of this and pretty decent probability of breaking out. See, Amtx just broke the downtrend back over 14. So Amtx may not be dead yet. Amtx might come back to life here. Yeah, starting to climb up the trend line now instead of under it. So we'll see. We'll give SOS a little bit more time. SOS might prove to be a sneaky little trickster. Or not SOS. Did I say SOS? I don't know if I said SOS on this, but AMTX, whatever. You know what I mean. Ooh, still getting rejected. SOS may not break out. It's really struggling to break out there. And you got a doji star, which signals trend reversal, so this is probably going to come back down to the trend line here. It's starting to curl over a little bit. So that may need more time to break out. It's really struggling to get over that 715 area. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and delete that since the downtrend's broken. Let's see if it can continue to climb up this trend line. If Amtx can continue to climb up this trend line, it could get going again. Yep, and then like I said, SOS coming back down to the trend line there. Now it needs to hold up this trend line if it's going to try to break out again, but if it starts cracking this trend line, it's probably going to get ugly. Up, maybe about to break, possibly. Actually, I would say if this candle can close over 710, I think on this next candle, yeah, on the next candle could be the breakout. So that is a possibility. Now, the PR on this is not really amazing PR. They've got short and distort allegations, which just means they manipulated their stock price. But they said that, they're defending their company, so it's decent PR. But at the same time, if they're lying and they get investigated, it could be a bad deal for the stock price. But you're just day trading, so you really don't care that much. I mean, overall, the market's responded decently to the way that CEO responded to the allegations, because this did rip, pretty decent amount here. Yeah, from 5 up to 725. But it's not like mind blowing PR like hold on a second now. Hold on a second. SOS or AMTX all the way back up to 15. Testing 15. Guys, I'm going to take a quick little breather before this gets going, because we may be getting frisky on AMTX. Or maybe I'm not going to take a little breather. Oh, let's see here. AMTX just bouncing off that trend line and looking like it's feeling back good, like it's shook out some of them spiders out of the cobwebs, or whatever you want to say. But yeah, while this is doing its thing real quick, I'll be right back. I'm going to take a quick little breather. Nope, no, I'm not. It just hit a new high at 1538. Show me the late frisk. Show me the delayed frisk. So 15 needs to hold up as support at this point. But yeah, I'm going to take a little breather. This is probably going to fumble around in this area for a few minutes. And if it rips, it rips, but we'll see. It was a nice little pop up, but we did just hit another new high a day, so we're probably going to get a little bit of a pullback. Yeah, and then start a pullback. So I'll be right back, guys. Give me just a few minutes. All right. So yeah, a little pullback to the trend line there after that quick little pop, but I think we're all right there. I think Amtx may get going. But you can see that is some selling pressure above 15. It's got to break and hold 15. If you look, there's only been one candle that actually held 15, and that was this candle. So 15 is the big problem. Yeah, One Life, he trades the pivot points. And pivot points is just where the stock pivots. So like AMTX was selling off here, and then it started reversing where it was going and pivoted right here off the trend line and is pushing up. And then now we're starting to push back up to that 1550. This candle's got 30 seconds to close. This would be the second candle to close over 15 if it can close above it. We don't want to see this candle get pushed down like this one, like this inverted hammer. But you see earlier when I was talking about the inverted hammer, this actually closed as an inverted hammer, and then you had a little sell-off. So anytime you see that inverted hammer, expect some selling to come after that. So we did close over 15. So it's trying to hold above 15. As long as it can hold above 15, it'll be good to go. Needs to break 1550 though. Let me look back on this max chart, see if we have any resistance anywhere. No. So we're above all resistance. So this is very bullish at the moment. What's ANTX doing? ANTX cracking down out of that triangle, but still not really selling off. And this is why I like these dead cat bounces, because you can get some little sell offs, but like I said, shorters should not be in this anymore. So buying can keep coming in. Where's SOS at? Let's see. The SOS cracked the trend line, so that's probably done. So let's see, we got 10 seconds if this candle closes over 15. If this candle closes over 15, we should be good to go. See, that candle did, where did it close at? Yeah, it closed over 15. Oh, we're about to get frisky. Up to 1556. See if buying volume continues to increase here. It's a lot of selling pressure. There's probably shorters sitting above this area, sitting in this area, this 1550, above 15 and 1550. So if it does start breaking out strong, then we may see them cover and this really start to shoot. But you can see it getting pushed back down to 15 again. But 15 still trying to hold. Buyers stacking the bid there. And come back down to the trend line. So that selling pressure is really holding up pretty strong above 15. But this is the first time the stock has ever been over $15 as well, so it's a pivotal point to where it's got to show 15 as new support. I'll let that do its thing for a minute. Let's see. It needs to hold up the trend line, though. If it cracks the trend line, that will be no bueno. See if we got anything else going on. Nothing there. I'm going to take that off. Take that off. Nothing there. Socket selling off as well. Nothing there. CKIN's alright. That's sideways as well. Got a possible double bottom, little double U shape here on VACQ. That could possibly get going. SOS trying to come back up to the trend line. Let's see, Amtx really... Oh no, it's still on the trend line. It's testing the trend line right now. GHSI, that doesn't look very good. ECOR still nicely climbing. That trend line's broken. That downtrend's broken. And now you got this new uptrend. So as long as that rides up the uptrend, that's good to go. Yeah, so Amtx getting rejected pretty hard at 1550, but you can see 1525 is where every single candle. So actually I was wrong. It's not 15 that is the issue. It's 1525 because these two candles hit at 1525. This one popped above it, got pushed back down. This one hit, got pushed back down. This one hit, got closed right under it. This one, same thing. And then this one, same thing. You see all that resistance right through there. Basically 1525 to 1550. That's what's got to break out. Right there, a lot of resistance through there, a lot of selling. And possible shorters. See, we got anything else going on? Timber on a nice little uptrend. That's some ugly stuff. So yeah, if you look at the volume, where all the volume is on the NASDAQ gainer and the NYSC gainer, eCore is at the top there, but you got VACQ, which is a mid cap, Amtx, which is a mid cap, MORF, which is a mid cap, and it just looks ridiculous. And then you got CAN there as a mid cap, NRG as a mid cap. So it looks like we may be having to switch to playing mid caps for a little while. Because other than eCore, we've not really seen any penny stocks break out. And eCore is not a huge breakout or anything. I mean, it's just a downtrend break and starting to climb up. So we may be going into a mid-cap market. And AMTX back down. Let's see. Maybe my trend line's a little bit off. Let's see. So let's assume my trend line was off and this is actually the trend line. But anyway, while it slowed down a little bit, nothing's really happening at the current moment. Let's check out. Let's see what the cryptos are doing. See, we know the SPY is trying to rebound. Now, Jerome Powell last week said a lot of dumb shit in his interview with the House and the Senate. Like, one of the things he said is basically that money printing does not have an effect anymore, which is absolutely insane. He said used to, maybe, 60 years ago or something like that, but he said the last 40 years there's been no evidence that money printing does anything, which is insane. It's truly insane to say that. But then he was also real careful the way he was answering questions and stuff. But basically, I took it as a bunch of smoke blowing that he really doesn't know if they can control inflation or none of that. He's saying he wants inflation. See, Bitcoin almost back up to 50,000. So, the crypto market coming back up. Crypto market took a pretty nasty dip last week. But stocks took a nasty dip. Gold took a nasty dip. Like I said, the cryptos, like pretty much all the markets made a nasty dip, and that was because bond yields rose to 1.5%. And higher bond yields is not necessarily a good thing, especially not right now. But I was really concerned about the SPY Friday, but then when they passed the stimulus package from the House, that's more stimulus into the economy, and the market has reacted so far multiple times to that in a positive way to every stimulus package. So it looks like it's gonna, today so far it's looking like it's reacting positive again. Yeah, no, I said that to my wife. What I was telling her what Jerome Powell said, and she was like, "Well, if that's the case, why don't they just print everybody $1 million and give everybody $1 million?" So that's how crazy that is, to think that money printing doesn't do anything like that. The fact the head of the Federal Reserve said that, I was just stunned. I was floored. I was like, "Is he serious? Like, what is he talking about?" So, I mean, I don't. It just to me, they can't cause a panic. The one thing they don't want to do is they don't want the markets to crash, and they can't come out and say, "We fucked up. We've printed way too much money." And he actually did say that he wishes the government did a little less spending. And that's the major problem with the economy, is the government spending way more money than it's making. Which, no matter if it's a government, a business, whatever, that's just not a formula for success. You can't keep spending money. And they're continuing to buy equities and bonds and all that stuff, but there's no demand for bonds really, other than them buying them, because U.S. Treasury notes are weak. With all this inflation and the job losses and all that stuff, other countries don't want our U.S. Treasury notes. They don't want to pay for those, because they know the only way that the government and the Federal Reserve can try to figure out a way to get out of this massive amount of debt that they're in is by raising inflation and sneakily stealing everybody's money through inflation to pay back their debts. And since all the other countries know that, they don't want our treasuries. So eventually, I do think we're going to have a pretty big crash in equity markets. The housing market is pretty high too. I think it was like 20% up from last year this time. But I think silver, and this is just my personal opinion, but I think silver is probably the hedge for when all this comes crumbling down, because silver is pretty cheap still. Yeah, China banned all cryptocurrency, and you know why? Because they want their own cryptocurrency. They're trying to turn the yuan or whatever it's called, into a digital currency. They've been trying to do that, so they don't want cryptocurrencies to compete with them, because China is a very communist country, and they want all the power. And if their people start using cryptocurrencies and they all adopt these decentralized cryptocurrencies, then you take all the power away from the government, because they control the money supply, and if you and the currency and the value. So if you take control of the value as the people through decentralized currency, then they no longer have any power. So that doesn't surprise me at all that China banned it. India tried to ban it too. But just cause China banned it, that only strengthens my resolve on cryptocurrencies, on decentralized cryptocurrencies. When the governments are trying to fight against it, that just shows you right there that they fear it. They do not want decentralized cryptocurrencies, because that's where all the money is, or that's where if everybody puts their money in decentralized cryptocurrencies, they lose all power. They don't have any more power. Yeah, yeah. That's what I was saying. India was trying to ban cryptos as well. But that's the thing, and I've said this before. You can try to ban and regulate all you want. That's the only thing the government can try to do about it, because they can't control the decentralized currency. So they have to try to get people not to use it. But murder is regulated and banned, and it still happens. So all it's going to take is everybody around the world to wake up and say, hey, we should throw our monies in cryptocurrencies and decentralized cryptocurrencies, or physical gold and silver, something that the government doesn't have control of. And then they lose all the power. But they fear cryptocurrency. This is starting to crack again. Let's see if this can pull back above 14 or not. I see it never closed over 15. Again, it didn't even get back up to that 15.25. So all that selling pressure is probably too much on this. Yeah, I know that's a very good point. One Life. Most everyday normal people want the government to help them. This mindset that's been pushed for like the last, I don't know, 60, 70 years, something like that, that the government is there to be our friends and help us. It's just not accurate, because the government, I mean, we're $30 trillion in debt, so obviously they don't know how to do their job. They can't math. The government is terrible at math. And apparently the Federal Reserve is too. I jokingly say that, but honestly, I know that the Federal Reserve and the government, the people, a lot of the people in the government are not idiots. They can't be that stupid. So that means they're just lying to us. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Everybody, a lot of people think that the government. I mean, you see a lot of socialism. People pushing for socialism now, and they don't even understand that what we have is not a free market. They think free market is the enemy. Free market is actually not even in the equation. Federal Reserve controlling inflation and interest rates and all that. There's nothing free market about that. Not at all. And then all the government regulations, and then all the social safety net programs. Like, we do not have a free market. We have a weird crony capitalist socialist mix. And anybody pushing for socialism doesn't understand that. And they don't want to give the power. They want to give more power to the same government that screwed us all over. So it's like if you don't understand economics, which pretty much anybody on the, well, I won't say everybody on the far left, but there's a couple that get it, but a majority of them don't understand economics whatsoever. They just are sold on the idea that the government can fix everything. But from an economic standpoint, even Keynesian economists, Keynesian economists who are a little bit crazy with their economics. They think the government can print money and spend it how they want, to a certain extent. Even they aren't really big on socialism or a lot of social programs. They understand that uh, supply and demand and free markets. I'm going to have to get out of this if this keeps dropping. You let me down, Amtx. You were so close to breaking out. But yeah, that and all that I just talked about all correlates back with what is currently going on in the equity markets with the SPY and the Dow Jones and everything having that pullback and now bouncing back up because Jerome Powell said they're not going to raise interest rates, and the stimulus package that's coming out is some positive stuff. So it's just it's just a hard time to try to figure out where all the money is going to go, because I think the money's going to go into cryptocurrencies, but that pullback over the last week was pretty rough. Gold and silver, especially silver, are underbought, but there seems to be more investors investing in crypto for hedges than gold and silver, so it could be a good buying opportunity for gold and silver. And I buy gold and silver all the time. I don't care what the price is or what the markets are doing. I just buy it anyway because it's been one of the safest uh, hedges for all of history. And as long as they're printing money, then silver and gold is just going to continue to slowly rise. You're not going to get rich off of silver and gold. But if you want to preserve your wealth, like if the US dollar crashes, silver and gold will preserve that value. Yeah, that's for sure. If interest rates rise, see, I stayed at a Holiday Inn, so when I talk about, no, I'm just kidding. when interest rates when interest rates rise, uh, they do take money out of riskier investments. But that's the thing, that right now the investor sentiment across all markets is all different. I mean, you've got gold bugs saying that gold and silver is the buys right now. You got crypto bugs saying it's cryptos. You got bond people saying it's bonds. You got some investors saying that cash is, we're going to see deflation and that cash is where you need to be at. So there's not really anybody who has, or a lot, there's not really a big majority of anybody who agrees on what the hell is going on right now. Cryptos are very, what's the word I'm looking for? They're very speculative. It's a very speculative investment because they are so volatile. But I do see that, I see an argument that people keep making about cryptos, that it's not a currency and it doesn't have any real value, and that it's just as bad as fiat currency. Well, and I even saw one guy saying that the reason fiat currency is better than cryptos is because it earns interest. You can earn interest on your dollars, which that right there is a clear sign that he's not done any research whatsoever on cryptos, because if he had, he would know that you can earn interest off of cryptos from staking, or some of the a lot of different platforms do actually pay interest for holding cryptos. Like Voyager pays, I think, 5.5% for holding Bitcoin. Yeah, the new pet rocks. Yeah, yeah. You're not wrong what you're saying. One Life. You're not wrong at all. All the speculative growth stocks. Those are the ones that are pulling back, or that pulled back over the last couple of weeks, and the fundamental value stocks are the ones that have slowly been going up. Like Intel never, like AMD went on a massive run last year, and Intel didn't do hardly anything. And I still like Intel, and especially with this chip shortage, I like Intel. I'm trying to think of, what is it, INTC? Yeah. But this is a perfect example of the difference. Intel's an established company, pays out dividends. You could say it's a speculative growth stock, but it's really not, because they've been around for such a long time. They're one of the most biggest chip makers. But if you look, right through here, since December, Intel's been climbing back up, and AMD has been dropping. See, AMD's even dropped today, but see, Intel is going up, AMD's coming down. Because AMD doesn't pay a dividend, and AMD's not been around that long, so it's more of a speculative growth stock. Well, AMD's been around a little while. They've been around for a long time. I didn't realize AMD was that old of a company, but still, they're more of a speculative growth stock versus a fundamental value stock like Intel, and that's why I like Intel. Because Intel stayed cheap. I mean, you all year last year you could buy Intel for $40 to $50. That's a good deal for this consistent dividends that they got. VACQ, a little rip, and said NIO breaking 50. Yeah, I think we're getting into a mid cap market. Yeah, see, that's what I was saying about VACQ earlier. Double bottom there, and you got a nice little breakout so far, almost $1 rip, and it probably will make it to $1. Let's see. Well, actually, it's got some resistance in that $14 area. and then 1450. So it's really got to break over 1450. Maybe even 15. But yeah, good little break, a little double U shape there. Break for a little profit. So if you caught that, good job. Just be aware of all that resistance ahead. And Amtx cracked out of the uptrend, but still slowly not selling off too hard yet. Maybe in a bit of a channel. See Antx. Antx could never break 6, and now volume's dying off on it. So that dead cat did not dead cat very well. I mean, it did a little bit because it did drop all the way to 485, and it ran up to 585. Well, actually, it ran up to 6. So that was a $1.15 bounce, but you'd have had to catch it early this morning at the end of the sell-off. But I'm probably getting ready to get out of it. It's only 5 shares though. It's not like it's killing me or anything, but really, Kirkland's with a new. See, I don't. Here's the thing too, with the economy possibly about to open back up, you could see some retail stocks climb back up. Kirkland's has been making a very nice move. I'm on the max chart. No, I'm on the year chart. But Kirkland's been making a nice move for the last year. But you can see some of those retail stocks are starting to come back alive. Like SPG is Simon Properties. They own all the malls. And nice gap up, beautiful. And you can see Simon Properties has been coming back up. So, but this is a strong dividend paying stock. So we'll probably see a lot of the speculative stocks drop and see a lot of the stocks that sold off the hardest, like retail. Retail could possibly start coming back up. Let's see. Let's check out MO. Not two MOs, but MO. MO. Just MO. Whatever. Yeah, so you can see MO, which is Marlboro and Juul and all those cigarette companies. They're starting to come back up. They just hit a new high year at 45.34 the other day. It's actually looking like it may break 45 again today. So that's what you want to be kind of looking at. And you can see actually MO has broke this downtrend on the max chart. So MO is starting to go bullish again. But, you don't... All the big tech stocks made runs last year. Made pretty big runs. And they got to come back down. So where are they going to come back down to? See, SOS is looking pretty rough. I don't know where they're going to come back down to, but all the stocks that were not getting bought up, like I said, get out of here. The fundamental value stocks, those stocks have already started moving and could keep climbing, kind of like the big tech stocks did. Now, of course, Facebook and Google and those giant ones, they're probably going to continue to climb. But let's take a look here at some different areas. See, looks like gold is up today. Actually, there's two I want to add. There's two junior miners. If you like precious metals, which, like I said, I like some precious metals. There's two junior miners I ran across this weekend that have some potential. And that is Roscan Gold, RCGCF. And then the other one is NSUPF, and it's Northern Superior Mineral or something like that. So I gotta do some more research on this one, and this one does kind of look barcodey. But it's an OTC stock, and this company's not been around for a long time, but they've got some pretty interesting stuff going on with it. And while it's super cheap right now, if they can start producing their gold, so yeah, they got a permit. Yeah, so they're finding some gold and stuff. Once they start and they just acquired a key land package on the northern border. Yeah, so this is definitely interesting. I'm gonna be keeping a very close eye on this. But that's the max chart, and then over the year, you know, it's pretty much went sideways around this 30 to 40 cent area. But it's a junior miner stock, and I'm going to do more research on it, but I like it as an investment because it hasn't really got going yet, and it's a new mine, but they've got a lot of good stuff going on. So Amtx starting to try to climb back again. Before I draw, let me look at this on a couple of different time frames. So actually, Amtx is looking like it's making a big flag. Yeah, you can see it on the 15-minute. Amtx is making a big flag. So I may end up having to hold this for a little while longer today. And then if you look at the 30-minute, I'm sure it'll be even clearer. Yeah, so you can see on the 30-minute. Yeah, so on the 30-minute, if this comes back up over 15, this is probably going to be a big flag breakout. So there's still a lot of potential on Amtx today. See if I can get one more share. Nope. All my funds are spent. Alright. But yeah, I like this big flag. That's pretty nice. So I'm going to continue to hold that. But yeah, let's see. I think, what is the main gold one? It's one gold stock that gets like most of the volume. Gold. That gold's actually going sideways there. Get the hell out of here. So yeah, actually all the gold's selling off still. Which, good. I want it to. How's our pot stocks doing today? Pot stocks making a little bit of a rebound. Yeah, Cron coming up some. How's YOLO? Let's check YOLO. Yeah, YOLO coming back up. So pot stocks are starting to come back up. That's nice to see. All right. Coin Citadel. I mean, where can you buy it at? Because I don't think I have that on Voyager or you the pot stocks. Yeah, I like pot stocks too. I'll always have a love for pot stocks because that's what got me into the stock market. Greg's not just invested in pot. He's invested in a couple of different things. He does have a couple of pot stocks, but he's not all in just pot stocks. Oh, I found Citadel. Yeah, I can't buy it on Coinbase. Yeah. Well, it says the circulating supply is 11 million. So there's 11 million coins available. There's way more than 287,000, but still 11 million's low. That's a low amount of supply. But then you also got to look at can they make more supply? Because if they can make more supply, it's kind of irrelevant. See, I'm looking for it on. Yeah, I don't see it on Voyager either. I'm looking at Voyager. The top news: Bill Gates fears Bitcoin. Yeah, he better fear Bitcoin. All of them, the government and everybody. First stock that you bought was Cron in 2018. I think the first stock I bought was Aurora Cannabis. And that was like in 2016 or 15 when it was like $2. And then I sold it at 260 like an idiot. That's been one of my biggest kick myself in the nuts moments in my trading career is when I sold Aurora at 260 and then it ran all the way up to like 20 or something like that. I forgot what it ran to, but you never know. But I was new to the stock market. So Amtx starting to creep back up to 15. So I'm gonna we'll give the stream about 20 more minutes here because it's almost lunchtime for me. But if this is gonna break out, it should probably break out within the next 20 minutes. So if anybody has any questions, suggestions, or ideas, go ahead and get those in. But I would say Amtx, if it's gonna break out, it's gonna do it here soon. Why would I write a book, Daniel B? All my, the last couple of years of my trading career is all on camera. It's all been live streamed. You get, I've got a whole video library the last couple of years. The years before that, man, that was just me learning and being a new trader, doing dumb shit and getting lucky here and there. Which still happens. I still do dumb shit and get lucky from time to time, but it's not nowhere near as bad as it was. I've learned quite a bit in my 6 years of stock market experience. If I wrote a book about my whole life, Daniel B, you that would be a book. My stock market career is probably not the most interesting thing about my life. Hey, Ben, no problem, buddy. I'm glad you got some value out of that Thinkorswim setup. What did I learn today? No, I don't have any kids. No, kids are a bad investment. That sounds really harsh, but let's be honest. Let's just be honest. Let's not sugarcoat it. If you're not financially stable or financially free yet, kids are not really the best investment to try to get to that point, because they cost a lot of money. Now, if you're not looking to be financially free or whatever, if you're not looking for that, entrepreneurial life like I am, then kids, do what you do. But I'm trying to keep my expenses low and my income growing. So the kids are definitely up those expenses quite a bit. But Daniel, to answer your question, there's not really anything I learned today. It's, on this play here, I learned something I already knew, to not bag hold. I bag held this, and it's actually possibly going to work out for me, but I would not put that in, if this does turn out to rip big or whatever, I'm not going to be proud of it, because I bag held this way down. Just something I shouldn't do. A car wash? Yeah, I was thinking I don't know about car wash. I was thinking there's a commercial building a couple cities over from me for sale for pretty cheap, and I was thinking about getting that and putting a laundromat in it and a little coffee shop, and then rent out the other two spaces, because there's 4 spaces in it, and rent out the other 2 spaces, so the coffee shop and the laundromat would have no rent to pay. Those would pay its rent, so those 2 would be in pretty good shape. Yeah, I mean, you could look at it that way. A diverse portfolio being multiple incomes. If your portfolio is just stocks, then I would say that's not really a multiple income. Well, actually, no. You're not really wrong, but so here's the thing with stocks or equities or anything like that. Say that you do invest in crypto in your portfolio, and you invest in stocks, and you invest in some ETFs, you invest in some gold, you invest in some bonds, whatever. Say if you diversify that well, you're still going to be paying taxes on all that, and capital gains tax. Now on long-term holds, it's not as bad, but on short-term holds, capital gains can be pretty rough. And Amtx may crack here, but to me, multiple incomes would be something out of investing. Like, all that's still investing, and you're going to have the taxes and things that go along with it. So I would look, somewhere else too. Like, if you like all the different investments, do that. But it's also good to have like a business, even if it's not a big business or something like that, or real estate. Real estate is probably the best way to offset your taxes in investing, because with real estate there's so many tax loopholes. So I would say, you can have a diverse portfolio, but you want to add real estate into that portfolio. If you diversify with real estate, then yeah, I think you could consider that multiple incomes. But yeah, I mean, if you get one apartment complex, I mean that's great. I mean, you're gonna be making money off of that. But the other thing too with real estate is, because it's such a big asset, if you have a cash flowing property like an apartment complex, where you don't have any money going out of your pocket every month to it, the mortgage is being covered with all the rental units being out, it's paying down that the price, that value, and that value that's in your house. So let's say you bought apartment complex for $800,000, and after 2 years you've paid it down to $400,000, and you've added some new floors or new paint or whatever. So now the property's worth $1 million. Well, if the property's worth $1 million and you only owe $400,000 on it, and it's a cash flowing property, well, now you have that whole gap of equity, that $600,000 gap, where you could pull that money out of that property and go buy another property or another big investment or something like that. So that's real estate has the tax loopholes. It also has great equity benefits to be able to pull equity out of them. Yeah, there is work with real estate for sure, but all you need to do is get your real estate business running to where you've got enough properties, which it doesn't take that many, especially if you do like vacation rentals like VRBO and Airbnb. If you once you have them making enough, then you can hire a property management company to handle all of it, and you don't even have to handle it. So you can take all the work out of the real estate. Now, starting out, of course, and that's anything, any business or anything, you're starting out, you're going to have to put the work in. But once you get it going and then it's sustainable, then you can hire people to handle it all for you, and then you just sit back and collect the money. But yeah, no, I'm invested in. I've got, like I said, I got gold and silver, all them investments. I do own a triplex right now. I'm looking for another real estate investment. Like, I'm real big into real estate investments if I can find them. But it's already, like I said, the housing market's like 20% up, so prices are a little higher than I would like, especially with this sketchy economy. There could be if the stock market crashes and the currency crashes, the housing market could crash, especially with the forbearance and all that. So I'm looking for deals, but the deals it's not really a buyer's market. It's more of a seller's market at the moment. And Daniel B, you can laugh at virtual real estate all you want, but some people are making money off of it. And if people are making money off of something, then it doesn't really matter how much you hate it. If people can sell pet rocks like Mark said and make money off of selling pet rocks, well, then joke's on you because they're making money off of selling pet rocks. So I don't your negative attitude towards anything other than your favorite stocks is like, it's unbelievable how close-minded you are as an investor. You have to be the most close-minded investor that I have ever met. You will not reach out of your comfort zone. And you're not wrong. Hitting the like button can help increase my YouTube ad revenue income, which is nice. Considering that I don't pay or I don't charge for any of the time and knowledge that I put into the channel. I don't charge you guys. So yeah, I would like my ad revenue to go up by hitting the like button. I don't think that's messed up or anything. But yeah, that's one of my other sources of income. It's a separate source. The YouTube channel is a business. I mean, I could sit there and throw commercials everywhere and sell courses or sell a membership subscription site. It wouldn't be nothing to get 100 people to sign up for a membership site at $50 a month. That'd be $5,000 a month that I could be making right now if I wanted to be a scumbag like the rest of the social media traders. Which I'm not hating on them for having a business, but I don't know. I don't like charging hardworking people. Yeah, Klaus. We heard you say about CCTL, but you need to where can you buy CCTL? I just looked at it. It's not on Coinbase. It's not on Voyager. So where do you get it? Reddit's got courses for free. Oh boy, I don't. I make some mistakes in it, and I'm not the greatest trader in the world. But I don't know if I'd be listening to Reddit. if I was on the other side and I was in this chat right now, and my choice was between Framework Fortune or Reddit, I would probably go with Framework Fortune. My dog is losing his shit right now. Hold on just a sec. Let me see what's going on. All right. Oh, some guy gave you warrior trading course for free. I mean, if you can get it for free, I would definitely check out the information, but for some reason I just don't like Ross Cameron. He just looks like a sneaky muskrat, and I don't trust people that look like sneaky muskrats. Yeah, my dog hates Reddit. Oh, CCTL is a stock. I thought he was talking. I looked up Citadel. They do have a token because I saw the token. CCTL. Notice to disregard. I don't like that. I don't like that PR at all. We are advised by OTC press release wire that journalists and other readers should disregard the news release. Coin Citadel receives purchase order for 200 Bitcoin ATM machines priced at 6,800, and that was in 2019. But basically, it's saying that Citadel's full of shit. So I don't know if I would, I don't know if I'd invest in that or not. I mean, it made a good run with the cryptos, and as long as cryptos are running, it's probably going to keep running because it's damn near the same pattern as Bitcoin, but or at least recently. Trying to get I was trying to get Coinbase to pull up here, but for some reason it don't want to pull up. Well, anyway, I don't know about that. I mean, you could Ross is the ad. I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's constantly the ad before my live stream. He he spends a ton of money in ad revenue because, like I said, I mean, he charges like $1,000 a month or something for his monthly subscription to his website and all his courses. So, if 100 people sign up, that's $100,000. But that's why you see him trading with, 300,000 shares of stocks because he don't give a shit because he's making so much money off his monthly subscriptions. And then you'll see his thumbnail like, oh, I had a bad day. I lost $200,000 today. Oh, it's so awful. And it's like, dude, you made probably $2 million this month off of your subscription, so you can stop your crying. Listen, there's a lot you can learn from me. Daniel B is gonna sit here. Daniel B is gonna sit here and argue to death that I am not a good trader and that blah 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 and all his nonsense, and that's fine. That's his opinion. Yeah. See, Daniel B right now is trying to tell you to go listen to 90-year-old guys who invested in the stock market before cryptos existed or before anything else existed. Like Warren Buffett was smart, but Warren Buffett did not get rich because he was a good stock trader. And this is like the biggest misconception that most investors have, and shows right here how Daniel B knows very little about what he talks about. He knows how to trade a stock good, but other than that, outside of that, he has no clue what he's talking about. Warren Buffett got so much money from an insurance company. He started an insurance company, took everybody else's money, not his own money, from that insurance company, and invested it in the stock market. He could have easily lost all that money. But it wasn't his money, so he didn't care. So the big thing around Warren Buffett being this great investor and trader is not that accurate. I mean, once you've got $1 billion in cash from an insurance company, then yeah, you can throw it around in the market and you're going to make more money. You can just throw it in a dividend, produce an ETF, and make more money. I'm not impressed by Warren Buffett's investing strategies because he didn't come from $0 and trading a small account up. He took all his insurance investing, or all his insurance money, which was other people's money, and spent it. So there's some facts for you there, Daniel B. Why don't you go do some more research, buddy? I'm not going to read a book that he probably paid somebody to write about his glorious life, Daniel B. That you're buying in. Like, I don't know what it is with your obsession with books and thinking books are the end-all be-all of information. Like, there are books out there right now that are absolutely insanity, that make no sense whatsoever. So just because it's a book doesn't mean anything. Just like a website on the internet doesn't mean anything. You have to go and look and do your own research. Like, a book is not going to change your life. Okay? You can read all the books you want. It doesn't matter. Action is what changes your life. And that's the difference. That's the difference between me and you, Daniel B. That is the big difference. You are scared to take action outside of your one little stock trading strategy that you use, which is a good strategy. You make money off of it. That's good. I'm not knocking you for that. But other than that, you are so scared to put your toes in the water anywhere else. Like, you're against cryptos, you're against gold and silver, you're against all this other stuff. And then you sit up here and you act like you know everything and tell people to read all these books. But in reality, you don't take any action. And it doesn't matter how much knowledge you have if you're not using it. So you have to take action. That's the biggest thing. So you can read all the books, you can join all the subscription sites, you can follow all the greatest investors ever. I mean, the Darvelsbach strategy was made from a guy who was a dancer in the 1950s. He's arguably a better investor and trader than Warren Buffett is. So yeah, they're also 50 years older than me, Daniel B. I mean, at the rate I'm going, by the time I'm 80, I should be a billionaire too. You're making correlations to things and then telling me I have no idea what I'm talking about. But you don't understand how economics works at all. You think gold is a bad investment. Like, you don't think gold is a hedge or silver and precious metals. You think it's tulip mania. You think cryptos are tulip mania. You think anything that is not stocks is tulip mania. So you can sit here and debate with me all you want, and you can say I don't know what I'm talking about, and that's fine. That's your opinion. But it's very hypocritical to sit up there on your perch and talk trash to me saying I don't know what I'm talking about when you don't really even know anything about economics besides just investing in what's your favorite stock? What's that stock called? I don't know, that exercise equipment stock that you were bullish on all year last year. I'm not stubborn at all. I'm open-minded. If somebody comes to me like that CCTL the guy who's pushing CCTL, I went and looked at it and I said, I don't know much about this company, and I looked at their PR and said that's a little sketchy. But I was like, if Bitcoin's running and it looks like on the chart pattern they're running, I'm open into hearing other things. That's the whole reason I got into cryptos. Like, I'm open-minded. I just don't like arguing with people who are super closed-minded because that annoys me. It's like, okay, you want to dig on me every single day. because I lose on some stocks here and there. But I'm sitting here taking my time and my effort and the knowledge that I do know and sharing it with the world for free, and you're knocking me for it. Haters gonna hate, lovers gonna love. I don't even want none of the above. Daniel B, I'ma piss on you. I'ma pee on you, I'ma piss on you, I'ma pee on you. Drip, drip, drip. There you go, Daniel. There's a little Dave Chappelle for you. That's how I feel about my conversations with you. Hello, Tez. How's it going, buddy? In case Daniel B, you've been around long enough and been on the other channel to know that trying to win an argument with me is damn near impossible, because I talk extremely crazy to the point to where nobody can even think of anything to say to my crazy stuff. So I'm glad you realize that. I'm glad you realize that there's no arguing with me, because I am a wall of crazy that cannot be broken down. All that aside, please get to the main purpose of the live session. I'm just waiting on this stock to rip. That's why I'm just sitting here talking. I mean, I've talked about gold and silver and cryptos, and talked about the SPY, and talked about the economic issues. I've talked about a whole bunch of stuff, and I've been doing the stream for 2.5 hours now. I'm just waiting on this one stock to see if it's going to break out or not. I mean, I can look around and see if there's other plays. Amtx is not really doing much. That's not doing anything. SOS isn't doing anything. That's not doing anything. I mean, I'm just pretty much hanging out right now. And normally I'd have ended the stream, about 20, 30 minutes ago, but I'm trying to give it enough time to see if if AMTX is gonna pop up and have this big flag breakout that it's working on. Groupon's got a nice run. But yeah, I mean... Oh yeah, TSMP. TSMP is an interesting investment. I don't know if Dom's in here, but Dom was in here a couple of weeks ago, and he was telling me about TSMP. If you got in down there, back in that area, that was a good buy. Because, this TSMP is humble. TSMP used to be a garbage company, and humble direct listed into this ticker symbol. And as long as cryptos are running, then TSMP will probably continue to run as well, just like the CCTL. I mean, once Bitcoin and all that's running, anything to do with crypto starts running. Like, I have this whole watch list of crypto stocks, and you can see every single one of them. They move basically the same as Bitcoin. Hey, somebody know what the Bitcoin ticker is on Thinkorswim so I can pull that up? Yeah, you can see they get pops when Bitcoin and the other ones are running. But let's see, what's Humble's press release? Humble's acquiring Tickery. I don't know what that is. A leading live events and box office platform. Interesting. So that's decent PR. But I mean, you can see it's pretty good PR, but it's dropped. Wait, where am I looking at? What's going on here? Did they change over to the ticker symbol humble? No, they haven't yet. What is going on? They must be switching over to that ticker symbol because I don't understand why it's right here in this pre-market area. It's not showing anything for today. It's got to be switching over to the humble ticker symbol. That's the only thing I could think of. Oops. Yeah, that's the thing with TSMP. They're not gonna pull the Chapter 11 and run. That was now before Humble took over. Then yeah, that could have been a real possibility. But Humble's actually a pretty legit company, a crypto company. So they're going to be TSNPD. Oh, let me go back to TSNP. I'm sitting here looking at AMTX, which AMTX is starting to look like it's going to come back up to that $15 area. So maybe we'll get that breakout here soon. See, we're coming back up to that 15 now. Let's see if it can break back over 15 here. Starting to break 15 now. Still some selling though. You see there's a big seller. About 42,000 shares sitting at 15. He's got to get taken out. So, just gotta wait this out. See if it's going to break out or not. Actually, I'm going to move my stop loss up though. Because this is a pretty clear flag pattern here. And we need to see increase in buying volume. So that buying volume bar turn green. We need to see another green buying volume bar start pushing up. Because we know that 15 to 1550 is going to be a ton of resistance. So we're going to need big buying volume to break through. If it don't start pushing over 15 here soon, then it's going to come back down to this trend line. Yeah, that was kind of my thoughts. That's what I was kind of thinking. If it breaks this 1550 area, then it probably would run the 20. But that may be a stretch. But then again, it is bullish and above all indicators and above all resistance besides that 1550. If it can get through that area, there's not really any resistance holding it back from there. But it's got to get through there. So we got 30 seconds on this candle to close. And that big seller is starting to get taken out. Yeah, he just got taken out, and we're starting to pop here. See if volume continues to increase. You see, we're getting got a little green volume bar there, but still getting rejected at 15. Let's see. Still some selling at 15. They're getting taken out again, though. See some selling at 15.15. So they need to get taken out next. And they're slowly getting pecked at. Still selling. Oh, there we go. We just popped through 15.15, popping through 15.25. We may be getting ready to go on a move here. Buying volume slowly increasing still. We're going to need a big buying volume push. We're going to need one back here like this candle that was 2 million in volume. we're still getting hung up at 1550 at the moment. Now we're getting hung up at the 1525. That's breaking down. Breaking down 1530 area. Coming up to 1550. You can see there's a bunch of sellers. I just saw them on the ask. This is going to be the last stand before this starts to really break out. If it can break through that 1550 area. Need to see a little bit more buying coming in, though. The buying volume is not increasing as quick as I would like. It's still getting rejected. So I said we're going to need a big push. Here it comes. Took out a bunch of sellers there at 1550. I thought it was about to break right there, but it didn't. Buying volume is starting to increase over those other two buying volume bars. See if we get the big push here. It's got to come in right here in the next minute or so. This is a lot of tough resistance. A lot of selling in this area, but if it can break through this area, I'm kind of in agreement with H&H Trader that it'll probably run the 20. Because like I said, I think there's a lot of shorters sitting in that 15 to 1550 area. And we're going to need buying volume to push it over that to get them shorters to cover and squeeze this up. Yeah, it is a war zone. Yeah, right between those two lines at the top there is definitely a war zone area. But we've been pecking and slowly taking them out. So it may come back down to the trend line here. Getting rejected again at that same area. If you want to learn about trading oil stocks and all that, all you gotta do is just go follow the crude oil commodity, or one of the crude oil ETFs or whatever, to see what the overall price action of barrels of oil is. It's no different from trading the price action on a penny stock chart or on a mid cap or a large cap. It's going to be the same type of price action. It's just buying and selling. Just supply and demand. So let's see. Let's see if we're going to get this breakout. I mean, we're getting really close in the tip of this triangle. Let me look at it. I think it was a 30-minute. I looked at it earlier. Let's check that out and see. Yeah, so beautiful, beautiful flag pattern on the 30-minute. I mean, there's a flag pattern on the 5 and the 2 as well, but it looks a lot better on the 30-minute. Don't trade it off of fundamental. Trade off of technical analysis. I mean, I don't really know what fundamentals would be in. Well, if it's a stock, but if you're trading the commodity itself, I mean, there's not really. That's more of supply and demand and technical analysis, not really fundamental, because crude oil changes depending on a lot of factors. But you can just look at the price action. Oh, here we go. We're starting to pop up to 1570. We finally started breaking out, but this could be one of them fake. Oh, no, there we go. Now it's starting to push. We won't see it break through 16. If it breaks through 16, I think we'll be off to the races. So this buying volume keeps coming in. But so far, the other couple times that it hit a new high, it sold off right afterwards. So that also could happen. Because this is high a day and high a year. But if we break over 16, then it should keep running. No, I don't have a trailing stop loss. I've got a stop loss in, but if it breaks over 16, I'm going to take the stop loss out and get ready to start probably locking in profits here. But like I said, it pretty much has the ceiling to run if it can break 16, then I would say it'll probably run to 17, 18, maybe even that 20 area. But volume's increasing. If we continue to get buying volume increasing, we should get this breakthrough 16 here. Good close on that candle. Now at this point, this 1550 area that was so tough to break, that's got to hold up as support. That old resistance needs to become new support. And you can see buyers are trying to hold up that area. Oh, here we go. A lot of selling at 15.90. I think that's going to be the last stand for these shorters. Here we go. Oh, so close to breaking 16. A lot of sellers sitting there. And they're getting taken out. Still holding it. Still holding the 16 up. But if we keep testing it right here, then this is going to break. Yep, here we go. Breaking 16. There we go. All the way up to 16.15. Let's see if it can keep on climbing here. This is very low float. It's only 21 million shares. So if we could get, if we just got a little bit more buy-in volume. Like if we get a 2 million in buy-in volume candle, that would be what we need to really get this to rip. But even though it did break out over 16, sellers pushed it right back down. So we need to see the buyers. We need to see the buyers outweigh these sellers and get this over 16 and hold over 16. It's going to keep ripping. So you can see we still got a tug of war here. Uh, uh, They're really, really trying to keep this under 16. So, too, we could have a little profit taken right here. That's what this candle could be. Because if anybody got in down here at this 1428 or in that 1490 area, that was a whole dollar something move that it made. I don't like the look of that candle, the way that closed, because now it looks like we're getting
smushed. If this candle doesn't start breaking up, over this little red, almost doji candle here, I'm going to move these old lines here. So yeah, now it's starting to push back up. It needs to break over 16 on this candle and hold. If it doesn't, then it's going to come back down to the trend line. Because right now what we got is buyers are waiting for a second for this triangle, this flag break to confirm the breakout. Yeah, they're waiting for this to confirm. Let me look at this on a 2-minute real quick just to see how it's looking there. Yeah, you can see on the 2-minute curling over, but still trying to hold that 1550 support. You can see this candle is, buyers are trying to push it up over that, but it looks like a lot of the buyers are waiting to come in. They're waiting for this confirmation. And they're waiting to see if 1550 is going to hold as support as well. We're about to break out here. If this keeps pushing up like this, we're going to break out. Buying volume starting to come in. Buyers are starting to see that 1550 is holding up. See if they keep coming in here or not. Yeah. You got a minute on this candle to close, so this last minute is gonna be it's gonna be pretty instrumental to this breakout, because this candle needs to close above this red candle's body. Yeah, if it starts going red right here, then it'll pull back down to the trend line. It's such a tug of war, man. This is such a back and forth between buyers and sellers, and nobody can decide. But overall, the price action shows that buyers do have control of it. About to move my stop loss up to right under that 15, yeah, right in that 1530 area. That way if this does come back down, I'll at least not lose on it. Let's go take a look back at this 30-minute. But you see, if you look back here, though, you can see we didn't get clean buying volume bars growing. We got two little ones there. This one started to go green, but ended up went red. This one went green. This one started to go green, but went red. This one went red. And now this one's going red and it's coming back down. So this may come all the way back down to the trend line. Trend line's what that for? Well, actually, let me redraw the trend line. It's a little bit off. Yeah, so it did come back down this trend line all the way back down to that 1488 area. Couldn't hold at 1550, and that's why buyers did not come in and push this up any harder, because could not hold that support. So now it's either going to crack this trend line and be done, or it's going to hold up and slowly make its way back up to 16, and then maybe it can break. But it's probably going to be a whole nother 30 minutes or something. Unless it cracks. Unless it cracks here. Let's see real quick. Let's see what the SPY is at. Yeah, SPY's still climbing. Broke over the 9 EMA. If the SPY closes up at 390 or over 390, it could be a hot market tomorrow. No, we definitely don't want 15 to start holding up as resistance again. If 15 starts holding resistance, then this is most likely going to crack. But so far, this tug of war back and forth, it's making it pretty hard to predict what this is going to do. Well, not hard, but tricky. Hard's not the right word. Tricky is the right word. And it may start cracking here. we're getting into lunchtime too, which means volumes could start dying off. And I am starving right now. Daniel B., I'm sorry, buddy, man. I'm sorry that I, was talking trash to you earlier. You're still talking trash, but at this point, man, I'm not trying to have any negativity in my life. And you got to me a little bit earlier. You did get to me a little bit with all the trash talking you was doing. But you choose what you want to do. If you want to keep talking trash, man, you just go at it. I'm not going to argue with you anymore. And more than that, I apologize to everybody else for me singing R. Kelly, because my singing voice is really horrendous. Or not R. Kelly, but Dave Chappelle. That skit was based off R. Kelly, but yeah, I apologize for that earlier. That was a little unnecessary. Yeah, I know. It's like two brothers where one of the brother hates the other one. Because I don't trash talk Daniel B until he starts trash talking me. And then I have to, get it back to him. But like I said, I'm trying to keep all the negativity out. And the negativity is just not good. And I don't like to let it get to me. You see, this is struggling to get back over 15 right here. Yeah, Cain and Abel. Daniel B's been a part of the channel for a long time. He used to not talk as much trash. He used to actually be helpful and give advice that was decent advice, but now all he does is just talk trash and tells people to read books. Well, this is starting to crack. Alright, I think I'm about to get out. Well, I don't know. It's still testing the trend line. Oh, I don't know. I don't know here. I'm getting hungry, so... Well, actually, I've been hungry for a little while. And when you're hungry or you have something that's affecting you mentally, like hunger, fatigue... And I am getting that too. I'm getting screen fatigue from sitting here staring at the screen for, almost 4 hours now? 3 hours? It can start messing with your mental, and you gotta be sharp when you're day trading. Yeah, don't overdo. Yeah, this trend line's cracking. The flag's cracking. Let me check on the 30-minute and make sure, but it looks like it's cracking. I'm about to just get out of it and call it a day. I gave it a shot. I gave it all the time in the world to try to break out, and it's just not doing it. Yeah, see, kind of starting to curl a little bit. But we are, on the 30 minute, we are building higher lows. You got a low here, low here, low here. Well, actually, this might push down some. Oh no, it's still a low. As long as it doesn't drop below 421. Hold on just a second, guys. I got a call. Yeah, these what do you call it? These car warranty people, man, they're almost as annoying as Daniel B is. Yeah, ego drunk. I have yeah, I am so hungry that I couldn't find the 30 minute. That's true. But yeah, I have a I have a playlist of lessons of all this technical analysis stuff that I'm talking about, support resistance, price action, all of that. Just go to the day trading playlist. I'll get you a link to it. But yeah, I'm starting to get. You guys are definitely right. I am starting to get fatigued and hungry and all the things that's going to distract me. Which, that being said, those are not excuses for this trade. I bag held the shit out of this trade. This is not a good trade, honestly. Just to be completely honest about it. See, my dog's yelling at me now. He's saying, hey, come on, man. You're losing your mind right now. You're going crazy. Here, there's the playlist. Yeah, it will update. If they just switch today to that TSNDP or whatever, it might take it a day to update. Sometimes it takes a little bit. Yeah, ego drunk. Yeah, day trading is buying and selling in the same day. Most day traders do get in and out, and that's what I was saying about this. You probably just joined the stream, but I have been in this stock since way back here. I got in right here at this U shape here that looked like it was going to break. I think this is where I got in at, or maybe I got in. No, I got in right here. This is where I got in at. Because on the 2 minute, it looked like it was going to start flagging. But this was a bad entry. Yeah, this is what it was. So yeah, I got in right back here. So we'll go over this real quick, and then I'm going to call it a day and let this thing fumble around there. But I got in right back here when I saw this kind of flag forming. It's a little triangle flag. And when it broke, it actually broke out of it, and I thought it was going to keep running. I got in, I got filled like 15, 14, kind of at the top here. And then that's where it got rejected at. And as soon as it got rejected there and broke back below 15, I should have got out. That would have been the stop loss area. I got in at 15.14. I should have got out at 14.99. As soon as that cracked down and this flag didn't break out, that would have been the exit. And then I've just held this thing like a dumbass for a while. I was looking for the trend line to keep holding up, and the trend line did keep holding up. And in fact, has still kept holding up so far. Or no, actually, oops, I'm looking at that wrong. But let me get these lines off. I'm confusing myself. But yeah. So if that what is going on? Get out of here. The ideal exit would have been, like I said, right there below 15. And then if this would have broke out, you sell at the high a day. Like this hit 615. If this would have broke out up to 16, that could have been a good dollar profit move just about from that, and you'd be in and out. So you either get stopped out on your breakouts, or you get a nice rip and you're in and out of the play. But this this trade was bad. I was bag. I've been bag holding this thing the whole time. But I only went 10 shares. So I mean it wasn't a lot of shares, and I wasn't risking that much for it to drop down to this area. I risked like $20, but percentage wise, it sounds like $20, but percentage wise, that's way too much risk. Because that was a whole dollar I held this down. $1.15 actually I held this down to, and that's too low to hold down. So yeah, just a mistake on my part. Just a bad mistake, and I'm not blaming it on the hunger or fatigue. That was right at the beginning. That was 30 minutes into the stream. That was just me bag holding. But the hunger and fatigue doesn't really have nothing to do with it right now. I mean, I'm trying to give it a chance. I'm hanging in there for a little bit because it still is building higher lows. But and if you look at it on the 30-minute, it still possibly could rip. Bag holding is good for views, though. Yeah, I mean, I show all my trades. So I actually took 2 trades on Amtx. I'm still in Amtx on 5 shares. I just hopped in there with the 5 shares, but I originally jumped in with 30 shares looking for this to a dead cat bounce. But this was a bad entry on this one as well. This was not a great entry. Let me go here. Where's the 2-minute? There we go. So on this one, they had originally bounced up right here. And then it was starting a U-shape. And yeah, I think I got in right here looking for this U-shape to break over 6. And then it didn't. It got rejected. And it hit my stop loss. So I took like an $11 loss on it or something like that. But I think I had my stop loss pretty low. And then I just bought these other 5 shares a little while ago just to see if this dead cat's ever going to get any more bounce to it or not. Probably won't, but I'm willing to risk like $1 or something, to see. Because even if it does break up, I'm not going to make anything but a couple of bucks. It was just kind of owed to my dead cat bounces. Yeah, and actually this is selling off, so I'm going to go ahead and get out of this. I'm not even going to hold these 5 shares. I'd just be dumb. Alright, so $12 loss there, and then the other trade so far is Amtx. Still waiting, because I don't think I traded SOS. I know I watched it a lot. No, I didn't trade SOS. I started to get it in SOS, but I ended up not. And then the other trade today so far is Amtx, which I'm currently down $5 on these 10 shares, but I mean, I've held it this long. It's still got higher lows forming, so I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to keep. Yeah, even right now, I mean, my entry was 15.14 and it's down at 15 or 14.40, 14.50, so it's like 50 something cents a share that I'm risking. And actually even more, I've got my stop loss way down here just because I was trying to give it this upward momentum, the chance for this upward momentum to break out of this flag, but it's not looking like it's going to do much at the moment. It looks like it's starting to crack, so this will probably be a loss too. I don't know if I want to cut my losses. Should I just cut my losses? I was trying to hold up this trend line, but I'm gonna just hold it for a little bit longer. If it drops, I don't think I'm gonna hold it down that far though. If it drops below 14, then I'll lose about $10, $10, $11. But I'm not gonna hold it any much longer than that. I'm gonna actually move my stop loss up a little bit for now. But yeah, this is a bag hold play. A little bit off on my trading today. SPY broke the trends. Let me go back to the 5-minute here and see what this looks like. Yes, SPY possibly could curl over. It definitely has broke that trend line. Yeah, gold dropped some more. 10-year treasury now trading at, so yields, treasury yields are going up. So this is, we actually probably could see a market another drop. This could drop back down. If bond yields and treasury yields have went back up, that's the reason why the market dropped last week. A stimulus package may not be enough to keep traders. It's such a volatile market right now. I'm telling you, if you go and you like, there's one channel that has a lot of economic talking and stuff on it. It's kind of set up like a news channel. It's called Kitco News. So it's like KITCO or something like that. Go check that out, and you can see the last couple of weeks the guy has had multiple economists and investors, and even Peter Schiff was on there. And none of them seem to be able to agree what is about to happen. This is all they can all agree on is the debt is crazy, and everything seems like a bubble, like a big bubble. And I've been saying for a while, I think that we're heading for a big market crash. But you can't bet against the Feds. The Feds, as long as they're controlling stuff, you never know when the market is going to crash because they're controlling, they're coming in buying up bonds and all that and buying up equities, so you never know. No, I do have a Discord, but I don't have it set up. I mean, majority of the time I'm in the live streams with, the community's pretty much in the live streams or commenting in comments on YouTube, and then we got the community channel tab, which nobody uses, but except for me to post things. There is a Facebook group. It's not a super active Facebook group, but I post things in there and talk about things in there from time to time. The majority of the action, though, is here on the channel. But you're like the second person, I think, to ask me about a Discord channel. So if you guys in the community, if y'all want me to start it, well, actually, I already have it started. I just don't use it for anything. But if you guys want to start building a community in that Discord channel, then I will go ahead and start that for you guys, and I'll link it. So you guys just let me know if that's something everybody wants. I know for sure 2 people want a Discord channel. Because somebody else asked me that the other day. Do it. One Life, what do you think? You're the moderator of chat. Should we start a Discord channel? You want to be the moderator of the Discord channel too? I don't know if One Life's joking or not. I really don't. I really don't know if he's joking or not. He might not really know what Discord is. I mean, I didn't really know what Discord was for a while. I've got some buddies who are gaming, who are big into gaming and stuff, and they told me about Discord and all that about a year ago. So I have the Framework Fortune Discord. It just, nobody's in it or doing anything. Now I told you he may not be trolling. Like One Life's a little bit older than me, so he may not really know much about Discord. I'll talk to him about it. Yeah, it's great. Discord's good for building communities. That's what I'm saying. Because the Facebook group it's all right, but I think Discord's got a lot more options than Facebook group. Plus, Facebook is a sketchy company here lately. So we'll get that going. We'll get that going for you guys. If you guys are active in there, then that's good. If you're not active, like I'll post stuff in there and leave some stuff in there. But all right, guys, I gotta call it a day. I'm getting so hungry. But yeah, I'll get that Discord up for you guys and have it going today. Just be on the lookout in the community tab for the link to it. I'll get the link up, and then if you guys don't see it, I'll link it tomorrow. But if for some reason I forget and you don't see the Discord channel up today, remind me tomorrow, because it is very possible I could forget. So, all right, guys, I'm going to call it a day. Appreciate everybody joining me as always. We will be back tomorrow morning. Guys, have a great rest of your day. Stay safe out there. Till next time.